Now, Pedro brought this topic to me.
Yeah,
I've seen it all
unfortunately,
over
yeah,
the internet.
yeah,
Um, Tell me about it. Little Mermaid. I remember watching it. I used to watch it 1,000 times back in the day.
yeah.
One of my favorites, my favorite Disney movie, the 2D cartoon is Aladdin. Aladdin is my ship. Like that's Aladdin, then Beauty and the Beast, then Little Mermaid, and then like the rest of them. But tell me about it. Tell me what's going on in the
Oh,
world of Disney.
oh man. All right, so somebody sent me this, and then I went down like a TikTok rabbit hole because I was bored, and
Yeah,
I got no shame. And
nothing wrong with that.
so to give context, right? This Disney's making a lot of these live action movies, right? Some of them have been pretty good, some of them have been bad, good reviews, bad reviews, and they're doing these live actions because why not? There's money in it,
Yeah,
and pretty cool. You got CGI now, and it's cool. So they're doing Little Mermaid. It's like, oh, who doesn't like Little Mermaid? Great songs, nostalgia. They're in the water, so it's like, how are they going to do that?
hmm
So they did the casting like a couple years ago. So it's been known to people that have known that they casted Haley Bailey or something. I forget her name. She's
yeah, something like
22.
that. Yeah,
Real talented, young, beautiful actress. They casted her. She can sing really well, and then the trailer comes out, right? And it goes on YouTube. And I see that it has double the amount of dislikes versus likes. And on YouTube, that's kind of rare, right? I think we've seen it with like the Will Smith apology video that we talked about a month ago, and
yeah,
various other videos where there's a lot of just action and people don't like it or they have an opinion either way, right? And regardless of what side of you lie on, it's your opinion. That's what's great about this country. We can have an opinion. But I started to think, well, why so many dislikes? And then I see the trailer. I'm like, hey, it looks cool. Okay. It's a black. I didn't know she was a young black actress. I don't keep up with the Little Mermaid Disney and who's casting, right?
yeah.
Don't
Me
care.
neither. Yeah.
Not important, right? And I'm like, okay, is it related? Like, why dislike that so many times? And then I start seeing these other little Facebook groups talking about that's not my Little Mermaid and the woke culture and this and that and all these little memes and people photoshopping these crazy, basically racist stuff. And you know, that's not the majority of people, but it is what it is. Let's call it what it is, right? And then the opinions, like it's just so crazy to me that this is a Disney movie on a fictional, like it's a mermaid, so it's not a real person.
Right.
The context of the story of Little Mermaid, there's no cultural context. So this isn't like Black Panther and people are trying to, it's not Mulan, it's not Lion King, it's not none of that stuff to where the color of the person playing or the kind of person playing this character literally is no significance. It shouldn't bear significance. But people are up in arms because she's not white with red hair. Because it's like, oh, now we're woke. We're just trying to appease this and da da da. I'm so sick of Disney. And like I just don't I understand why people think that, but I think it's kind of sickening to me that have such a strong opinion about a young actress that can sing really well and she got casted for this movie, and that's what people are disliking. For me, I don't know any other reason besides that. And I've seen some straight racist stuff. Like there's pictures people are making with her sitting on watermelon and like she's got Newport cigarettes behind her, like straight racist, right? I don't
Yeah.
care who you are. I don't care if you'd stop liking me. That's racism, in my opinion. It's my opinion. And it's like people forget. Okay, I'm going to go on a 30-second tangent. I'll be
No
quick.
problem. Go ahead.
People forget about characters that have been cast in Hollywood over the years and how there historically have been black characters, Asian, um, Middle Eastern descent, Hispanic descent, casted and not casted by those type of actors. It's happened thousands of times. I could give you a list, but I'm not going to bore you. People forget Jesus Christ is not a white man. I don't know if you guys didn't know that, but a lot of people see him in pictures. He's got blue eyes and blonde hair. Get out of here. So, like the hypocrisy within certain people having they're so mad because she's a young black actress is like, I it's an issue. It's crazy, right? And I think I've also seen people that have in the black community are like, well, we don't want her to be black because now it's like you're just giving us something like it's there's a lot of opinions on the internet about this,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not a black man, I'm a brown man. But when I see people so mad, when I see middle America mad in their kitchens, drinking their coffee, so mad because Ariel got casted into it's a young, beautiful black woman that can sing, and that's why she got it, and they think it's something else. I think it just screams all like it's crazy to me. I don't get it. I think it's people like to sweep things under the rug, but like there are a lot of people out here that just have hate in their heart. And these kids that are going to watch this movie, they don't care what the Little Mermaid looks like. I'm sorry, but they don't. It's only the adults that are making this an issue. And if you're one of those people, if I saw you, I'd probably smack you upside your face because like there's no the hypocrisy within, like it's crazy. We've casted people. Prince of Persia was Jake Gyllenhaal. Like Angelina Jolie played a black woman, blackface. Mickey Rooney, Shirley Temple they put blackface on Shirley Temple. Like we have to remember, like this stuff happens, like, and it's just wild to me, man. Like I just can't. I don't understand how so many girls now are going to look at this and be proud that they see themselves on TV, and it's like it's great for a whole new generation, right? And like we're taking that away, and I don't know, man. It just kind of pisses me off, all the dislikes on that, and I think there's still a lot of big hate in this country, and like it's just the divide is still there. And when I see stuff like this, it shows me that it is, and it's kind of sad. So I don't know.
You know, it's so many layers to this situation, and first off is the reason why YouTube took away the button. They took it away because when corporate entities post content, they get so many dislikes, and I think those corporations were telling YouTube take it away because it makes us look bad. Problem is that you can download an extension on your browser so you can see the dislikes. That's why people notice the dislikes because you can look them up. So they're hiding it, but you can find them if you really want to figure that out. I think the problem that a lot of people are having is, well, first off, people are mad at everything all the time. You can't please everybody. Everyone is upset about something. And another problem with Disney, the company themselves, is they've been force feeding some of the social justice stuff, some of the diversity stuff, where, and I'm happy I was born in the 90s and raised in the 90s, where race was a problem. I'm sure it was, but it wasn't to this extent where you still had great movies that was about the actors and putting the best performance possible. And when you do that, diversity comes organically because you're getting the best people for the role, right? And now to a point where we got to a certain situation where a lot of these movies are being done as, oh, we need a black person. Oh yeah, we need a gay person. Oh yeah, we need a white. We need like the checklist instead of no, make the best possible film or movie or show possible. Don't just put a black person in there to make people feel good. Like if she's the best actress for the role. Now, my wife says she can sing. I haven't.
Oh, she could. Yeah, I heard the song. I mean,
so if she could put if she could play a great performance, fantastic. It doesn't matter. Mermaids are not real, so they could be all types of. Like, I don't
they're
care.
Not real.
The first thing is like it's a fiction. I don't care. Like it's a mermaid. People who are really mad don't watch Disney movies because I don't. I watch them now because I have to watch. My kid, so I watch the cartoons and stuff. But if you're an adult, why? Is it like one of those things like if you don't care, just don't watch it, move on? There's so many other things to be upset about. Yeah. But people love to be angry. We're both content creators. We can vouch for this. People love to be miserable.
And I think regardless of your race or gender or demographic of income, I do think we want certain things to be nostalgic and the same, right? We talk about hip hop here. People don't like change. So I think a lot of the people that are looking at it like, oh my God, that's not the Ariel that I grew up with. And they're offended. But I think they're offended for the wrong reasons. That's just my opinion. I think the world's changed. The movie was made 35 years ago or something like that.
And it's still there. You can still watch it.
You can still watch it. Yeah.
I would say a lot of the new editions are not as good as the old ones.
Right.
I think they did well with Beauty and the Beast, and then Aladdin was okay. Lion King, I don't remember how. No one talks about that one. People still watch the old ones because you get used to the old ones. Like even me, I probably
Yeah.
would always still watch the old ones, but movies have been remade for decades. This didn't just start this century or this decade. They remake them because they know it's going to draw a lot of money. And I think Juana's comment, yeah, the kids don't care.
And this movie's for
Kids don't care,
kids.
and
It's
it's
for
for
kids.
kids.
I mean,
You buy a ticket, you buy some popcorn, you buy some food, sit back, take a nap. Because sometimes you're so tired, it's for the kids. Take a nap, let them watch it, let them enjoy it. It
yeah.
may be a good movie, it may not, especially if it's forced. Because I think a lot of the issues with a lot of these new shows and movies, they're forcing it. They're forcing the inclusion instead of just, hey, first of all, before we do anything, let's make the best possible movie. Let's
Let
get the
me ask you a
best
question though.
possible actors.
As a black man raising a young black man, right, in
Yeah.
America, do you think companies, whether it's Disney, and that's also what ABC, ESPN, they all fall under that same umbrella. He's a big media,
Yeah, multi-billion
huge
billion dollar
media,
companies. Yeah.
multi-billion, right? Do you think they have a responsibility to give a more of a representation to whether it's making a movie like in concert, where the Hispanic culture and Latinos can now celebrate in something. The new Black Panther movie, they bring in a character from the Aztec Mayan,
Yeah.
we don't have a Hispanic superhero, right?
Mhm.
Do you think companies have a responsibility to offer representation so kids or people can feel more involved? What do you say to that?
I would say that corporations, well, the first responsibility for corporations is to make money. That's the first thing. We need to make money. When you do that is that you make sure that each market, you're grabbing every market, right? So if and I've seen this before back in the day when you did watch a sitcom and they always had like the one black person and that
Hmm.
term was token, right? The token black guy in the
Yep.
sitcom. Like it's a bunch of they did that because it's like, well, we need to get some black people to watch, put a black person there.
Yep.
Does that help? I mean, that's a complicated question, right? I think if you bring a black uh, writer to that comes with a script about their experience, make that movie is going to do well. It's authentic. It's
Well,
real.
Black Panther
It's
did well
not.
because of that.
Yeah, I'm
Black
saying like,
Panther did so well because of it, and it was good. Yeah.
and I'm old, but I don't care. The '90s movies were the best. Friday with the best man with all these really good black movies, Boys in the Hood. They were written by black people that talked about their experience.
Hmm.
So if you don't really know too much about a black experience, but you just bring a black guy over and it's like, oh, I got it. Oh well,
Yeah.
I think that is pandering.
Yeah.
Where I think a lot of black people want to see their own stories, their own creations. Same thing with Latino people. Like if I want an authentic story from that culture, I want the people who to write it,
Yeah.
not necessarily corporations looking to check a box. And I think
Mhm.
that's the biggest problem. And Disney has been very, very. They've been responsible for a lot of the problems because of that checkbox thing.
Mm.
Let's get that done. Look at us. We're so progressive.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're kind of trying to play people, and I think that's the point. But what you're saying earlier with the photoshops and the anger, that's a little
It's
bit
crazy.
more like, okay,
And that's what kind of got me not riled up, but it's just like I should know better because that's just we have people like that in this world.
yeah,
It is what it
exactly.
is. But you mentioned companies have, they want to make money, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at it from this standpoint. Are we talking about is Little Mermaid getting the publicity that's getting if they casted it a white redhead? No, I don't think so. Right?
No, probably
It's
not.
not getting the press, right? So either one of two things happened here. Somebody made a decision and said, we want her to be African American because we want to check a box, like you're saying. But
Yeah.
right, we want to be okay. So that either that happened, or the second option is we had auditions, and from what I heard, I don't know what's true because I'm not part of that decision making. Hundreds of girls. It was a tough decision, but they landed on her because she was the most talented. So either that happened, right? Anybody can audition. She was the best. She's got a great voice. She's perfect. Whatever. Or the third thing is they did it on purpose. Like we're gonna, like, we want to make publicity, money. We maybe it's not about checking a box because we don't care about checking a box, but we're doing it just because, we know people are going to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So there's 3 scenarios there, and none of us will ever know like the decision making and how that person feels in their heart and their mind and when they decided to cast her as an actress. But like, it's just so sad. I'm not surprised, but it's sad that we're to the point where, you know, you audition and maybe you don't get a role because of your talent, you get it for something else. I think historically that's happened in Hollywood and a lot of other ways. Even with jobs, you hire somebody because of this, but maybe
Right.
they're not the most qualified. That's been
Exactly.
happening in this country for a long time. This is nothing new, but like, it's just sad that she's clearly got talent. She should be celebrated.
Yeah.
You see all
Apparently,
these,
she can sing very
she can
well, and that's
sing
the
and
most
yeah, I
important
mean,
part of the role.
yeah,
Um, Hopefully, she, like there's some funny moments in there, and there's a lot of enduring moments of, like
yeah,
she's supposed to be very charming. At one point, she can't goddamn talk, so she's gonna have to, show, that's
yeah,
also a skill. So if she's able to do that, and I hope that they picked her not because she was black. So
yeah,
that's very important for a lot of black people. We
yeah,
don't want handouts. At least I do not want a handout. Hopefully picked her because she could do the role the best. And she looked fine to me. So I don't understand she looked like like if I was a mermaid, she came out I was, I don't know, out in the ocean somewhere and she started swimming around. I'm like, oh, that look like that's a mermaid.
I
You got
mean,
red hair, looks
wh-
dreaded. Like
what?
that's what happens in
Yeah,
the water.
it's
Like,
crazy. And like, people are like, well, you got to keep it historical. And like, the crab is Jamaican.
oh,
So
you know what? The crab is actually, well, the actor, he's from Trinidad.
Trinidad and okay. So
Yeah, but he's from the
so
Caribbean. But yeah, yeah.
he's from the Caribbean, right? So like, what people are just crazy, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
The hypocrisy is nuts.
of all the movies I've seen and people getting mad. People get mad for all types of reasons because they think we become so cynical. We think of the worst case scenario. I think
Yeah,
as a society, that's the problem.
yeah,
So the people who are really mad, they think this was ham fisted. They're just throwing this in our face. They're trying to do this and that. And and what if they picked her because she was the best? What if this movie actually turns out to be a really, really good movie? Like I think of all the live action, Beauty and the Beast was the best one of all the live action
I
ones.
didn't see the Beauty and the Beast one. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that.
It
Yeah.
it looked, I mean, first of all, it had like the best actress. I forgot her name, but she was on
Uh,
Harry Potter.
Emma
Marty, I think it was
Watson,
name.
Emma Watson or
Yeah.
something.
So
Yeah.
she was a great actress. The look was great. And they're gonna have the look because they have the money, they got the backing. But Disney has not put in a lot of credibility in just making really good movies as of late. A lot of the Marvel movies have been hit and miss,
Yeah.
and also they pick and choose sometimes who to kick out and who doesn't. So one instance, the show The Mandalorian. I'm not sure if you watched that show.
I've seen the first 4 or 5 episodes, maybe.
Yeah.
It was
So
good.
Gina Carano was she was one of the characters in the show. They kicked her off because it seemed like she was posting a lot of conservative views on her face on her Twitter. And the last thing that she posted was something to effect of something fascist. She had like a meme that looked like Jews. It was basically saying about fascism. I forgot the meme. They fired her, kicked her off the show. But the main actor, I forgot his name is, but the guy who plays Mando, he had a similar post way back. And but he's a proud liberal, proud progressive. He didn't get kicked out. Now you can say, well, he's started a show. It's hard to kick him off, but it just seems like it's not a fair exchange of like, are we all going to be able to do this or not? And I think
Yeah.
the confusion and a lot of outrage for conservatives. Conservatives are really, really interested in Hollywood stuff because they think Hollywood is programming children. They're programming people, and some of that stuff you can explain. You can argue, yes, possible because when you watch TV, it's somewhat of an engineering process, but you don't have to watch it. You don't have the kids to watch it if it's that big a deal. I'm interested to see how popular or how much money this movie makes. But yeah, that's where Nova Dasher had it's a lot of people believe that they are forcing some agendas there, and Little Mermaid may not be any of that. It may be
Who knows?
they pick
Yeah.
the best actress, and they do like, we actually picked the best one. This is going to work, and we don't, and most people do not believe them. I think that's the biggest conflict. I
mm,
think.
mm. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll see. I mean, I think it's hard to say how a movie's going to look based on a trailer because you know we've seen some great trailers and some trash movies, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. You know, I'll definitely watch it at some point just to
I
to
try
see.
not to watch too many trailers. Even a movie I actually excited to watch. I don't want because these trailers nowadays they show the whole damn movie. Now this one
Mm,
didn't, but it's a shot by shot apparently, so we already know the ending. But some movies they'll show the entire movie in the damn trailer. They show the ending. It's in the middle, but you know it's the ending. It looks like a final battle. Like they show so much of the movie that
yeah,
I try to avoid watching too many trailers because they will it will like the well, I think I watched the Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man movie. They were showing they actually showed that there was going to be multiple Spider-Mans because they were showing it. They kind of
yeah.
they tried to erase the one part where there was like the lizard was getting punched in the face by I don't know an invisible whatever. I was like, oh, it's going to be a multiverse thing. Oh, okay, cool. I don't want to watch too much trailers, so I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
my
I think it's
opinion.
going to be interesting. I think you know, I definitely think there's this wokeism in certain areas. I definitely think there's cancel culture, which I hate that. You know, like
Yeah,
we can't be canceling everybody left and right just because it doesn't fit some type of media agenda or whatever else. You know, we should be
true.
able to have free thinking and free speech, and you know, we should be smart enough to decide things for ourselves and look at some things as just entertainment and leave it there. But there's definitely that stuff going on. I just don't. I think sometimes there's a subset of people that jump to those things too quick,
That's a
right?
good point. Good point.
They jump to that too quick, and without having enough information. And then also sometimes if you jump too quick, you forget about other things that have happened historically or within Hollywood or wherever else, and then you look like an idiot and a hypocrite because, like you're saying, well, that's not my Little Mermaid, but it's like hold up, like what are you saying
You
here?
don't
You
have
know,
to like it.
it's a
You don't have to
mermaid,
watch
yeah,
it. It's okay. You
right.
know.
Let's not make a Disney movie into something like more than it needs to be. But I definitely think you're right about Disney as a whole. It's almost like they try too hard to be liked
Perfect.
and to
Yeah.
care about what people think and this and that. It's like just make a damn good movie, and if it's good, people will watch it, and if it's crap, they won't. That's the one
Yeah.
thing. It's like if you have a restaurant, right? Like don't put all the glitz and all this stuff. Like if you make a good burger, people will eat it. If the burger's
That's it.
trash, regardless of how your sign looks, people will not eat it. So if you're Disney, just make a good movie, do some good casting,
And they can
give the
do it. They got the money. They
and
got
you
the
can do
talent
it.
over there. I mean,
So
the biggest movie of the last what 2, 3, probably decade was Top Gun Maverick.
yeah,
Why? It was the most basic movie with the basic principles. It wasn't trying to lecture you about anything.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
guy that is on an adrenaline kick in a damn fucking flyer cursing, but fire jet kicking
I
people's
haven't seen it
asses.
yet. I haven't seen it yet.
You know, like keep it simple. And I think a lot of Hollywood execs are looking at that like, oh, I don't have to lecture people all the time. No, you don't. We want to watch a movie. We want to remove ourselves from how terrible life is. We don't need lectures. We don't need to talk about how terrible everybody is in America. No, just show us action or show us that
Mm,
police officer. We're
mm.
not very
Please,
complicated
yes.
people. She should be an action movie. Like she was an action star. I'm going to watch it 10 times out
Hey,
of 10.
can you put that back up again for the new
Well,
people that came in?
like, oh,
So
let me
for all the new people that came in, just there was
let
a
me see,
arrest
fucking
in
share it
France.
again.
Look at this cop. Give me your thoughts. What do you
Yeah,
think? Have you ever,
I think she's
you
an
know,
amazing police officer.
what I mean?
She
What?
was
Yeah, what do you guys
arresting
think?
people, and you know, I think she's very, very special from what I've seen so far. And back to blue, 100%. Back to blue.
Good Lord.
Do not defund. More money needs to be.
No, more money.
I'm saying,
Okay.
listen, I don't know if that was a whole setup. Maybe she don't need to do that job anymore.